Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So you guys may have noticed the name has changed. The logos have changed. I'm going to do the official change over after today's shows. I wanted you guys to be able to find the shows and let you know what I'm going to be doing and renaming it before you try to search for it under Plants and Politics. So the official new name is Raw News and Politics. RNP. Hope you guys like it. I'm back. I'm feeling a little bit better. Thank you so much for all the well wishes. So I'm going to jump in now because I have quite a few updates to share about the Cuckoo Gate, as I'm now calling it. First, the Secret Service has given agents phone numbers to the January 6th Select Committee. So they can determine now if they want to subpoena phone companies to obtain their phone records. That, of course, won't tell us what they might have said, but it would show us who they were in contact with and on which specific days, and then also how long their calls may have lasted. Next up is Senator Lindsey Graham. He has hired Donald Trump's first White House counsel attorney to help him fight the Georgia subpoena. Georgia's district attorney, as you guys know, formed a grand jury. They're investigating Trump and others for alleged attempts to overturn the election in Georgia. And Graham, who's accused of contacting election officials and pressuring them into throwing out some of Biden's votes, he has been issued a subpoena to testify before that grand jury. So first he said he'd fight it, then he said he would comply. Now he's back to fighting it, and he's hired Don McGahn to help him. We also now know that Trump's attorneys are preparing for his indictment. According to three people who spoke with the Rolling Stone magazine, Trump was briefed 2 times over this summer about a possible legal defense because his lawyers believe that there's a very real possibility that the Department of Justice is going to file charges against him. And this is, of course, in regard to not just January 6th, but everything leading up to it. So the fake elector scheme, other facets of his attempted coup. And evidently, their concerns and efforts increased after White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified. Which is odd because, Trump said she had nothing really to do with him and she wasn't a real big player. I mean, she has mental issues, according to Trump. So why would that concern them? Another thing that made a Trump indictment even more real is the fact that the DOJ has now issued subpoenas to Trump's White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, as well as his deputy counsel, Pat Philbin. The DOJ is ordering both of them to testify before their grand jury. And speaking of Cassidy Hutchinson, we also found out that she worked for Trump several months after he left the White House. So he and his minions can claim all they want that they barely knew her. She wasn't a key figure. If that was true, why would Trump have her be part of his post-presidency team? On top of all of this, U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta ruled against Trump in his latest attempt to try to dismiss the civil lawsuit against him. That's the lawsuit brought by numerous police officers who were injured at the Capitol on January 6th. So once again, Trump tried to argue that he has immunity because he was acting within his capacity as president. The judge said no, and he gave the green light for the lawsuit to move forward again. In regard to the growing text message scandal, another bombshell was dropped last week. The communication of the top Pentagon officials was also destroyed. So these would have been officials who would have been directly involved in responding to the Capitol attack. And most damning is the fact that a government oversight organization requested their data. They filed a Freedom of Information Act request. This was on January 12th of 2021, so just 6 days after the Capitol attack. American Oversight submitted numerous FOIA requests to both the Department of Defense and the Army, and they requested all of their January 6th communication not just between them, but between them and top officials, also with Trump, with VP Pence, and then they said any other White House staff. But American Oversight never received their requested documents, so they filed a lawsuit. Well, now in court filings, we're finding out that all of the data was destroyed while the FOIA requests were still pending. So American Oversight has now issued a request to Attorney General Merrick Garland. They're asking the DOJ to open an investigation into all of these agencies that destroyed public records related to January 6th and the attempted coup. And Senator Dick Durbin, he has also sent a similar letter to the AG. We also learned last Thursday that the DOJ is suing former Trump official Peter Navarro because he refused to turn over government-related emails that he sent and received via his personal email account. Where have we heard about personal email accounts being used for government business before? And the right freaked out about it, but yet they've said nothing about this. So we don't know yet if this is related to the DOJ's coup investigation, but the DOJ did say that they're negotiating with Navarro regarding his emails, and he told them that he wouldn't relinquish them unless he was granted immunity. Immunity for what, Peter? So anyway, it was also just revealed that the Inspector General, who just so happened to not tell anyone about all of these deleted text messages, Joseph Kafari, the Inspector General, was previously cited also in 2013 for ethics violations and for misleading investigators in an unrelated matter, of course. But before he could be disciplined or terminated for that issue, he retired. And then he went to work for then Arizona Governor, Republican, of course, Jan Brewer. And according to reporting from the Washington Post, Kufari has a history of looking the other way and directing his staff to go easy on political members of his own party. This was whether it involved immigration issues or even sexual misconduct. All the best people, right? Why does this guy still have a job? This is why Democrats lose all the time, because they're weak and they're pathetic. Biden has to fire this corrupt coup co-conspirator. That's it. He needs to be fired. And Karine Jean-Pierre just held one of her press conferences, and she was asked about this, and she said, "No, we have no indication, or there's no plan right now to fire him." So I will let you guys know when I hear more, but it is so unbelievably irritating to know that Biden knows all this. Biden knows that this guy is clearly corrupt. He clearly is not an honest person, and he's keeping him on. It's unbelievable. Like, wake the fuck up. So anyway, guys, I'll let you know when and if I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.